Hi guys, welcome back. So today we're taking a look at some of the Chinese stocks listed in Hong Kong. Before I begin, remember take a second to give the video a like and subscribe as you greatly help our channel. Without further ado, let's first start off with the Hang Seng Index. So you can see that the Hang Seng Index had a pretty cool week after breaking up above this critical resistance at around 16,700, and thereafter we saw some continuation of buying. That said, we are already up, hitting the cloud resistance. So on the way up, the cloud will act as a resistance, while on the way down, the cloud act as a support. So currently now the next resistance, if we can punch above 18,000, will be 18,900 and potentially 20,185. That said, two supports to watch will be 17,179. This is the blue conversion line. Second support is 16,500 at this red baseline here. Moving on to the Hang Seng Tech. So you can see the Hang Seng Tech, a similar situation. We are now in the cloud resistance to expect a lot of resistance. In the event that we can cross this 3732, potentially we may head up towards the 4,000 psychological resistance and thereafter 4,357. Two support to watch will be 3,522 and the $3,300 psychological support level. Moving on to Alibaba or 9988. So a very similar situation. You can see on Friday itself, we did had a gap up, but we finished lower despite opening higher. So the A340 was the 61.8% resistance, and we hit around 83.50 on the day itself. So this will still act as a very strong resistance next week. If we can pass it, then potentially $90, $90, and thereafter 97.65 as this previous high here. Two support to watch will be around 73 and $72. Let's move on to Tencent. So Tencent had a pretty good week as well. You can see that even after announcing earnings, we continue to see some buying pressure. After clearing 61.8% at 282, we were looking towards the 305 levels. Despite, unfortunately, we did not manage to clear it. So in the event that we can retest it next week and clear it, then potentially we may be targeting towards 334 levels. Support to watch will be this blue conversion line at around 266 and this red baseline at around 250 levels. Let's move on to Meituan. So Meituan, you can see that we are also heading up, but we are already facing the cloud resistance. So do expect a lot of resistance. And you can see that we already crossed the 61.8% towards the 78.6% at 165 levels. If we cross it, then potentially 180 is our next target to watch out for. Two support to watch will be around 154 at this blue conversion line, and also this next support at around 141 levels. Next up, we have NetEase. So NetEase hit the 61.8% and it got rejected off at around the 111 levels. But that said, the blue conversion line and the red baseline acted as a pretty good support at around 102 and $99 levels. If we can continue with our momentum next week, potentially 120 and 128 is our next two targets to watch out for. Next up, we have NIO. So NIO is significantly weaker. You can see that we are being rejected off this red baseline here. It's acting as a very strong resistance from a recent high of 135.50 to a recent low of 69.55. You can see 38.2% is still a very strong resistance for NIO. Tested once and even tested twice. In the event we can clear it, then $100 and 110 is the next two resistance to watch out for. Not forgetting, as mentioned earlier, previous support has now turned into a very strong resistance for NIO. As for the support to watch, it will be current levels at around 83.25 at this blue conversion line here. If we break down, then potentially we may revisit 69 lows or even create new lows ahead. Moving on to JD.com or 9618, you can see that after rejected off this 61.8%, on Friday itself, we managed to punch up similar to Alibaba. So we are looking at this 78.6% around 229 levels and potentially 254 as our previous recent high here. That said, the support to watch will be around 196 and also 184 levels. Next up, we have 9888 or Baidu. So Baidu, we are trying to crawl up pretty slowly. At this 38.2%, 9280. You can see that this red baseline has now turned into a pretty good support. So that will be our first support at $91. In the event that we break down further, then hopefully this blue conversion line at 88 will must hold. That said, you can see that this previous support here has also now turned into resistance. If we cannot punch out further, then we may potentially come back down to retest this $73. If we can punch out further than 98, 104 and 113 is our next resistance to watch out for. Moving on to PingAn or 2318. So PingAn, you can see that this 78.6%, we are pretty close here at 44.70. If you can punch up further, then 48.35 is our next target to watch out for. 39.42 and 37.90 is the next two support to watch, which is this blue conversion line and this red baseline as well. 1299, AIA Group Limited. So similar situation, we are already at this 78.6%. A little indecisive for now. You can see that we consolidated for 5 days at that price zone. If we can punch up further, then our next target will be 79.75. As for the support to watch, it will be around $72 and $67. That said, in the event that we pull back down, hopefully this previous cloud support will turn into a pretty good support here. As you can see, previous resistance here was at the cloud resistance. If we come back down, ideally this previous resistance should turn into support before we can continue up further. Lastly, we have Xiaomi Corporation. So 1810, a pretty good run. You can see that we actually did break out above 61.8% at 1050. Unfortunately, the $11 psychological resistance was too strong, and we were still shy away from this 78.6% at 1108. If we can punch up, then potentially 1184. That said, currently now we are at this blue conversion line support at around 1041. If we pull back down further, then 966 is the next support to watch out for this 1810. So overall, you can see that the Hang Seng Tech and all the respective constituents have seen a pretty good rebound here, but we are also facing a critical resistance at 61.8% this current week, and hopefully we can punch it up next week. If not, we may potentially see more selling pressure in the upcoming week. So if there's any changes, I'll give you guys an update. Thanks for stopping by. Till we meet again, appreciate the manipulation.